this right back, Charlie?
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
There's always just that active red flag defenders. I think it's like there's always just that active red flag defenders. I think it's like there's always just that active red flag defenders. I think it's like
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Yes, people. We're back again. DG and Fabrice Muamba business. We've done a lot of live shows and live streams by now. You already know the thing. What you saying, my guy? You good?
I'm good, man. How are you, man? What are you doing? What are you saying?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. You saw what we did on Sunday, man. I'm enjoying the weekend. I enjoyed the weekend. I'm enjoying the start to the week. I don't check the league table, bro, but allegedly we're top of the league. So 10 cup finals to go. Let's keep going, fam.
I agree, man. I think on Sunday was Crystal Palace. Once you knew Patrick was gone, just about making sure you take care of the business in it. So, which they did. You can only beat the team that's in front of you, and Arsenal did a good job as well.
Was you shook of, obviously with us Arsenal fans, managerial bounce, they're struggling. They lost Patrick Vieira. We saw against Everton. I know we've been in good form, but was you kind of wary of Crystal Palace because they're fighting for their lives?
No, I mean, with Crystal Palace, you kind of know what you're going to get with Crystal Palace. If you threat Zaha, or you have other guys that go up there who are very tricky, but you know that if you stop them, you have a very good chance to do well. Defensively, they're not great, and they haven't won since November, I think. So
struggling.
They are struggling. They're very low in confidence, and I think once the first goal, and also for the caretaker manager to come to Emirates to take Arsenal on, it's a big ask, So I think it was just writing on the wall for Arsenal just to go out there and do their business.
What was your thoughts on the game? Because for me, going into it, I share what you said. I think, we need 3 points. We need to be near enough perfect. We need to bounce back from the disappointment of obviously going out to Sporting. I felt the only problems I could see with Crystal Palace is like what you said, the front line, the Zahas, the Elises, all of that. And we've been a bit shaky on the transition. So like the counter-attack. And there was elements of that, but it was near enough perfect, man. I think Zaha could have done better defensively. What did you make of the game?
I mean, listen, I was pleased to see Rob Holding start, which was very good to see. But it also shows that because nobody expected how Arsenal reacted after the game on Thursday, because there was the cloud on top there thinking this game on Thursday might carry on, coming on Sunday as well. So I think Arteta made sure that everybody iron up whatever they need to iron up and start the game bright. I was more worried about the goalkeeper. Reason being, the goal that he considered on Thursday, that
mad thing.
You know what I'm saying? That could be very detrimental into your head, thinking, boy, if man can pop like that far, boy, what happened? If they get close to me, they can literally. You know what I'm saying? So for that, I think he held himself very well. Arsenal I said, they will look very good. They weren't. Crystal Palace didn't bring anything that we didn't expect Crystal Palace would bring anyway. So Arsenal just had to make sure they take care of the business, making sure they're going away international week. They're very cushioned position, and then come back next week and get going and play the next 10, 11 FA Cup final and take one game at a time.
You said it there, man. Obviously, 8 points clear. We've got Leeds, similar team, also fighting for their lives. We need to take 3 points because we got the big one against Liverpool. Before we carry on with the Palace game, obviously, we went out of the Europa League. I feel there is a lot of Arsenal fans who wanted to win the Europa League. Now we're kind of playing it down. To be fair to you, I remember we sat here and you said, you know what? It's not that you don't care about the Europa League, but all your eggs were in the league basket. What did you make of going out of it in the fashion we did? Did it raise any concerns about our team to you?
I mean, my concern is just that the squad is not big enough to compete to competition, especially at that level. If you want to be compete all front, your squad need to be able to say, you know what, this whoever's gonna play at Europa League is equally as good as playing in the Premier League. So, because if you look at it, that starting 11 that play against Europa against Sporting, it's almost probably 3 or 4. It took out of that, probably 2 or 3 took out that team that play against Crystal Palace. So when you're talking about big squad, you really need that big squad.
The fact, speaking
yeah,
fact, do you think? Yeah, let me ask you a question. A big up Roots TV. Leave me alone, man. How much slappings have you seen me do? I took a dodgy first touch. It went viral. It's calm. It's calm. It happens to the best of us. It happened to reach. It happened to reach James. You don't want to see that
first touch, yeah.
you don't want to see that first touch. You don't want to see it. I've showed people already. It's horrible, horrific. You don't be dirty, horrific. Maybe something got in my eye. I don't know, man. I had glass.
Wow.
It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. It's a bad thing. I'll never show you. What did you make of Rob Holding then? Because obviously he came in. He's done well. There's been a couple of occasions people have come in. I don't think he was really tested. I think in what he had to do, he was equal. Are you confident in him? Are you confident in him as backup long term? And do you feel he could really do a suitable job in however long Saliba's out for?
I mean, listen, for me, I have a very soft spot for Rob because Rob is a Bolton kid, so I know how much he.
I don't know why I like him as well, but I'm with you with that.
You know, obviously, I have a lot of soft spot towards him. I feel like Rob is there and he's doing the job and need to do the job. You know, at one point stage of his career, say, you know what, I've done this job well enough. I've got a Premier League. Hopefully, I'm right. I've got a Premier League medal on my belt now. I can just go out there and start my own journey again. So, long term wise, I don't think Rob will stay at Arsenal because I feel like you want to play. He's getting on now, so he's not a young Rob anymore. You know, so. But in terms of his job in a pitch, he comes in, he does the job exactly what you ask him to do, and he does it very well.
Do you think he's good enough to be suitable backup? And I say this because, like you said, you know, a guy like Rob Holding, if he stays at Arsenal, I think he's one of the lads. He trains well. He does all of these things, but realistically, he's not really got the expansive defensive play of Saliba. Obviously, high lines he can get in trouble, especially when he's pulled out wide. Do you think we need an upgrade on that sort of backup right centre back position? Because
I mean, going forward, like if Arsenal win the league, you need to add 3 or 4 guys probably in each position where you feel like they will compete against other guys. Because as I said, you'll be involved in full competition. So why not splash the cash? You know, because the more competition you have in the team, the better everybody perform on Saturday. Because you're keeping everybody on the toes. You're thinking, boy, if I don't perform well here, next one will come in and take my place. So I feel like with that is what Arsenal need going forward. You need 2 guys in each position to fight for that starting 11 spot.
So for you, where would the upgrades in the squad lie? Whether it's squad players in the starting 11, where's the areas and where's the players, if any, that, you know, because one, I think you maybe agree, I like Xhaka, but maybe potentially a midfielder of the next level.
A midfield player. I like to see another. The problem that you have though, you've got Martinelli and Saka. Whoever comes in that position, they're not full well, yeah. They ain't starting.
It's peak, yeah. It's peak.
So
definitely where Saka's concerned.
Yeah, I'm saying. So if you're gonna sell them to Arsenal, it has to be a package where they have to also want to come to Arsenal, and they have to say, you know what, I know my situation when I'm coming in. There's gonna be somebody ahead of me, but I need to be able to compete and show myself. You know, I mean, the left side, and the right hand side. You know, maybe get another pop. You know, and have a centre forward because you can never have enough centre forward anyway.
Do you think do I agree with you, especially with the striker, especially if there's someone on the market, I don't know who, that's better than what we have. But do you think it's probably unrealistic to expect a striker? Obviously, I don't know what we're going to do with Bellingham, but you've got Eddie Jesus, Trossard and Martinelli could play up front. Probably need to invest heavily in central midfield and a couple of other areas, maybe left and right back. Do you think a striker is really on the agenda with Arsenal? Because I agree with you.
I mean, listen, if you look at, you don't want a similar situation that happened this year with Jesus next year with Arsenal. Where
Yeah. We might not be
it's
so
not a
fortunate.
market where you're hoping that one of the young lads will come in and just come through it. Now you want to be able to say, you know what? If Jesus come out of the team, we've got somebody equally as good as Jesus is ready to run around and do the job. So, finding a striker, it's massive. It is massive for Arsenal. You have to get a proper striker. You gotta get guys who, as I said earlier, the two wingers, try to bring new guys in, and maybe another midfield players.
And I agree with you. I think if he was to bring in another striker, obviously Gabriel Jesus might not be happy with it, but he can play out wide. He was playing right wing, if I'm wrong, in his last season at City. So there is things we could do. And I personally believe we've probably got to be a bit harsh now. I do like the fact that we've got a nice group of boys, a group of lads. We're winning games, but obviously we're not here to make friends. We're here to win stuff. And I don't know if every individual within that team can help us in that regards. Would you take Ivan Toney, excluding what may or may not be happening with his bets and all of these things?
But with this bet situation stuff, right? This is stuff this is like 4 years ago stuff. This isn't like it's happening.
He's in the England squad, so it might not be that relevant, to be honest.
I don't even start by the England team anyway. Madness out there.
What force you got on the England squad, man? Nah, man. The fans want to hear, man. They love when you're passionate still. What? I see you got some opinions about the England side.
Are we picking players or are we trusting players? Or what are we picking?
He's picking his boys, man. A couple of them he's picking guys he knows.
There you go then. How you gonna leave people like Fikayo Tomori, bruv? Yeah. I was in Milan last year.
White as well.
I watched Fikayo Tomori, but that brother looked like, I said, rah, he's running Milan. Love Milan. You're picking him over Maguire. You serious, bruv?
He's playing favourites, man. He's picking the lads, man. He's picking the lads. A couple of them players ain't even playing for their team.
This what don't make any sense no more. The same old faces showing up. What? To do what? Where's the progression? If you say we're gonna pick players to improve the team and to progress, then boo, I can understand that. But you're not picking that.
I'm with you with that. You're not picking. But to be fair to Southgate, playing devil's advocate, surely as a manager, you have to, whether we like the players or not or believe in them, surely you have to pick, and you've been in obviously professional dressing rooms, surely you have to pick the players you trust. You have to find balance, but surely you have to pick players you know, regardless of form. Because if you pick up a team of form players, it's not going to happen, is it?
You know, one thing, Mourinho always said, trust is a dangerous thing in football, especially with the players.
Facts.
Trust is a dangerous thing in football. You cannot keep trusting, man. You can't trust brother, especially in that football pitch, because man will switch quickly. And when a new manager comes in, say, oh, he's such a good manager. He bring new ideas. But hold on a second, you play with the other guy. So, I mean, I would like to see different players, especially in the back, different guys. That guys who've done well.
I agree.
He's picking like James Tarkowski. But I'm not really, everything are fighting relegation.
Swear down he's picked Tarkowski. If he's picked Tarkowski, that's criminal.
I don't know, but he's bare man to get them there. You can't. You can't trust guys who are, I look at the squad and thinking, he's not screaming anything wow.
And there's an international tournament next year as well, so he needs to start planning. Why don't you think Benjamin's not there? Because on form, he should be there, surely.
There you go. He picked Maguire and Eric Dyer.
Eric Dyer is taking a piss.
And Ben White has been killing for Arsenal this season. And this just shows you. He's not picking player based on merit. He's just picking player based on reputation and also because he did well for me at the Euros, blah blah blah. I trust him. He's been part of the journey. That don't make any sense.
You're right. Still, he's picking his brethren, man. There was a question here, and I wanted to ask you as well, away from England. Someone, ironically, who is in the England squad. What do you make of Ramsdale? I think he's a decent keeper, but I wonder whether we can rely on him going into the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you never know how good somebody is to actually play at that level. So, I think for Ramsdale here, yes, he's still got. Remember, goalkeeper do peak later on at their career.
And he's a baby in that regard.
And he's still like a kid. You know what I'm saying? So with him, give him a time. Definitely challenge Nick Pope. The other lad at Everton for the England number one jersey shirt. So I feel like with him, it only get better. He only gets better.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you. Like, I'm a big fan of Ramsdale. Anyone that sees me, I'll defend Ramsdale and Gabriel to the death. But looking at next season and the Champions League, I do feel, or just in general the next 2-3 years, Gabriel and Ramsdale, they're not alone, but they are prone to moments of madness. And I feel if that continues, we may have a tough decision to make. Just like I feel this summer, maybe we sign a midfielder and they don't necessarily take Xhaka's spot straight away. And I wouldn't sell Xhaka. I think he's good for the squad and could keep his spot and stuff. But I think that midfield needs upgrading, man. Do you feel that's something to watch out for?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Arteta, Edu, and everybody, they'll be in the market, making sure, assessing what does the squad need going into next season. Yes, we've done well. Yes, we've seen great stuff. But can we bring somebody who want to improve the team? 2, can he add something special in terms of off the field and stuff of the pitch? And also, you look at it thinking, what does that individual contribute towards the whole of the Arsenal brand? You got to look at it like that. We know that football now is pure marketing stuff now. So you're buying players thinking it's going to add something to the team, add something to the football club, and take it from there.
What did you make of? I have to ask you. It's a bit silly, but what did you make of Saka FaceTiming Kim Kardashian and that?
Bruv, when Kim Kardashian call you, speaking it, bruv.
That's what I had to ask you, because I'd say Saka, stay away, focus, man. Don't let them take you away.
Wow,
they can get elastic.
She can touch your ears, bruv. She'll take everything away from you, blood.
You saw what she did to Kanye. What's she gonna do to you, fam?
She's taking all her blessing, blood. So, brother, stay away from that. Stay away, bruv. Say, Kiki.
All of a sudden, you stop scoring,
bruv. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessary injury.
Literally.
You're like, whoa, why? Because I spoke to Kim. I say, nah. Stay away from Kim, man. Kim, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming to watch Arsenal, but please don't be enemy of progress. Just
literally go chat to Harry Kane and the Spurs brothers. Yeah. What do you make of Saka's? Because you might mention marketing and it's just hit me. What do you make of his global stuff? Because I mean, if Kim Kardashian is FaceTiming you, you're doing all right, not just as.
Hold on a second. Did they really like FaceTime him?
Yeah. She FaceTimed it. He FaceTimed her and the kids and that. Yeah. She was at the Emirates as well. Like yeah, man. I hope he's. Let's just hope he's less Thomas Partey and more just a church boy, isn't it? Because it can get mad.
The man that I take it that day. You were reading the Bible then that day, yeah? Yeah. I think that day, you went reading the Bible, innit?
Hey, definitely get the holy water out after that, man, cause the same way you get these blessings, you can lose them very quickly, man. It can get mad still.
I think it just came to my head, that Rager thing, I'm trying to remove it off my mind, man. That Rager thing. Nah.
This guy, man.
Listen, he's got to the point where, like, it's not like the Saka of Haaland anymore now. It's that big. It's a star boy. So he's the brand. So I'm happy that people like Kim and who can be able to FaceTime him and whatever, which is good for the guy. But always remember what got him there in the first place.
Fact.
That'll be just and the bottom line. Great, you're getting the recognition from other people, but just remember where it started from and keep it going. And if you can see past that, then so be it.
I mean, that's where I've got no problems. I think weaker players or weaker individuals would fall for it, but I think Saka really remembers that nobody loves you, innit? Like, this could all turn in a second.
Yeah.
Like you said, the same ability that got you there is what's going to keep you there. And the same everyone being your fans, negative form, they'll go away. We know how the papers get and things like that. It can get mad, man, but I've got no problem.
I don't think Saka is one of those kids where he can get easily sidetracked because he's got aunties and uncle and ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. What do you make of this question? Bless up DG and Fabrice. From what you see, do you think that the energy in the team has changed since when you were there, or is there anything that's different? What do you make of that?
It's the energy's changed. There's a more belief in this Arsenal squad. They are in it together. I feel like it's been a long time since Arsenal won the Premier League. So to come this close, every single game, you can feel like the atmosphere at the Emirates just gets excited. People get on top of it. So the squad are much more of a, they want the fun to be on board with it. They want to keep everybody in touch and everything. So I think this is just a start of something special at Arsenal. And if Arteta can keep this group of guys for the next 2 or 3 years before he spin it around and change them more, you see something special.
I I agree with that. Let me ask you a question then, because obviously I think I got it in the title. Do you think Arsenal are ready for the Champions League from what you've seen based on the domestic campaign in the Europa and everything
Yeah,
else this year?
I mean, if you look at the quality of the Champions League as well, though, you're like, okay, I see why, but I think that Arsenal are capable to play in Champions League. But I just think the squad is not big enough to compete at all competition. As we said, this summer transfer window, it will be a massive blessing for Arsenal to identify who they want to bring into the team and how much value will add into the squad as well.
Facts.
And it creates that competition in and amongst the squad. That'll be beneficial for the team.
I agree with you, man. Oh, what if I say some names to you? Declan Rice, Caicedo, McAllister. You can only pick one. Which one you taking?
The guy from Brighton.
Yeah, McAllister, the one who looks like Messi, the World Cup winner, Argentinian lad. He looks wavy.
Yeah, but how about the midfielder?
Yeah,
Caicedo?
Caicedo. Yeah, the black guy.
I'll take
Yeah.
him. I'll take him.
So out of them three, you're going with Caicedo.
I think he's more mobile than all two of their guys. And I think it comes to Arsenal, he can easily fit in Arsenal's way of playing. Because he's similar to Partey, but I think he's more mobile than Partey.
And he's younger as well. You might be being biased though, man. That's kind of your position. You might be like nice.
I mean, like, listen, if you look at Partey, yeah, he's great footballer. But Partey don't give you 9 games on the bounce. It will give you 7. When they have a 2, my foot is not hurting me. Something not hurting with that. But that brother from Brighton, he look like he's about it. Them South American brother, they've been about it already.
Yeah. He's trying to make this money, man. As
well, what I'm saying. So he knows back home, things need to pattern up. So
he said he's got 10 siblings, man. He's hungry, bro. He's hungry.
There you go, then. So every single time he's playing, every minute for the siblings. So it has to make sense. So I mean, him for me, I think that's why Tottenham were after him. It makes so much sense. I think
that's why their teams are after him, man.
With Declan Rice, that's like I sometimes look at it thinking, okay, but don't see the hype sometimes.
Why don't you see the hype? For someone who might not know where you're getting at, or say you're being harsh on him.
What is position then? You're saying is a midfield player, or is a centre back, is a holding midfield player, or is an all-round midfield player? Which one is it?
I think he's a centre mid. I think in his latter 20s, he could end up becoming a centre back, if I'm honest. I'd be keen to see him at Arsenal because you're going to be, like already, we're going to be on the front foot a lot more. It's less more all mans to the pump. It's more what you've got. And I'd be keen to see if we did get Declan Rice, price tag is probably going to be inflated, how we'd use him, because I would think he would take Partey's role. But a part of me feels, while I don't think he's as talented as Xhaka per se, he might play that 8. And if Arteta could get a new tune out of Xhaka, then what could he do with someone at 24 years of age? And I like Declan Rice because of his mentality, but I do agree English tax, a bit overrated and things like that. When you're talking 75, 100 million, you want to see a lot more. And it's the thing where if we buy him and Caicedo, I like them. I think they can tie into what we're doing, but we'd have them, Partey and Xhaka. Partey and Xhaka have played in the Champions League. Declan Rice and Caicedo haven't. So are we really necessarily more prepared if they haven't navigated that competition before? Declan's played in a little conference.
With Caicedo, I just feel like this guy is hungry for it. He's hungry for it. Otherwise, with Declan, the price tag they're putting on him, you can't justify it. Based on his performance this season, you're like, 90
mil.
They're
all fighting in it, West Ham.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's not like, listen, he's a great leader. He wins the ball really well, but I don't think it's what makes people make it sound like what it is. It's a good footballer. You know what? If Arsenal can get, is it the guy from Madrid? Tchouaméni,
yeah. We ain't getting that, bro. You gotta get that when he's in calling in France.
But this is like for likes. Tchouaméni, Declan Rice. I say that they're almost similar.
Yeah,
in a way that they play, but Tchouaméni is more in and out, getting it, being more effective.
On this thing, if I'm honest.
So I'm saying, so if Arsenal really want to make a statement, those are the type of name. If you know what I'm saying, so boy, we're bringing this type of name, and that will raise more competition to everyone.
You're right. Obviously, to be fair to Declan Rice, though, as much as I'm saying and you're saying that his price tag is a madness, so is Caicedo's. He's played 20 odd times in the Premier League. We saw in January they were saying 70, 80. They're saying similar 70 all the way up to 100 for him. Same with Declan Rice. They're both clearly overpriced. If you had to put the bag down on Rice or Caicedo, where would you go then?
Caicedo.
Is it because with him you more know what you're getting away from the hunger?
Because in that short period of time he played in the Premier League, he showed so much more in this game. So you got to look at the thing. But by the way, with Declan, it was more of a gradually, slowly, easily is getting at that level. But however, this guy within a year in the Premier League, thinking, wow, can you imagine this guy in 3 or 4 years in the Premier League?
Well, he bopped us at the Emirates when Trossard played against us. I think it was last season, actually, maybe the season before that, where Trossard just savaged us. Caicedo was everywhere. I think we went with Lokonga, Smith Rowe, and Odegaard as rotating eights. It didn't work out. And I remember watching that game, no disrespect to Lokonga, looking at him like, I wish you could swap at half time. You lot need to swap shirts because that more looks like an Arsenal player than you. Like, I don't want to sound like Graham Souness, but with Caicedo, it's a basic haircut. He does what he needs to do. There's no glamorous. As you said, 10 siblings. He's just here to hustle and play well, man. So it's an interesting one, if I'm honest, man. What have you made of Cancelo links today? I don't know how credible they are, but we've been linked with the fullback who's on loan at Bayern Munich from City. Would you have him?
Oof. I mean, I think Man City learned from their last mistake with Gabriel Jesus, giving him that opportunity to go to Arsenal, and look where he has taken Arsenal. The amount of contribution he's done to Arsenal. I don't think Pep will want to do that. I don't think Man City will want to sell in any of their rival going forward. Simple as that. It's like, boy, you're not going. You either go Madrid, you either go Bayern, you either go somewhere in Spain. But in terms of you going to another English team, nah, none of that. It's not happening.
I'm with you with that. That's kind of how I feel about selling Tierney to Newcastle, because Newcastle aren't going to cut us any deals. They're going to start competing and all these things. Yeah. We've got a question here. DG and Fabrice, do you think that winning the league is enough for us to sign first team quality that will be happy rotating like Pep has got City players doing, or will that take years of success? And as well, obviously, you've been in a professional environment. Can a manager really keep players happy? Really? Keep everyone happy all the time.
You can't keep everybody happy, but at least what you can do as a manager, just be honest to them and say, this is what we're doing going forward. And I think with Arteta, and success breed this type of confidence where, because you've seen in the pitch, you're able to tell people what to do and they're able to do it.
They listen in it because you've been
listen to it because of the success you've had in the pitch. And if this Arsenal team wants the Premier League, again, Arteta can be able to bring one or two people, sat them down, and say, listen, this is what's going to happen. I only need you for Thursday. You can train Monday, Tuesday, but on Thursday, I need you to get ready. That's all I'm asking from you. And that's the type of confidence each manager gets to a level of success that they have achieved.
Has there ever been a time where a manager hasn't necessarily been honest with you?
They're never honest. Never honest. Especially when you watch press conference. Oh, my God. Oh my word! You're like,
have you ever sat there and thought you wasn't saying that publicly in training, and you're saying this today? Like, what are you talking about?
They come out. You know what? Yeah, I always said the people that give this manager training, they need to start giving people training because they're best. Managers are best liars. Best liars. They can come in the change room, effing and blinding. They come in front of the TV. How was the game? Yeah, I had a word with the boys. I think we're okay. I'm like, raw. You've had a word with them after what you sit in the change room. So yeah, that's my take on it. I just feel like it's one of those things where knowing your squad, knowing the individual in your squad, and also start using guys for different type of game to get the most out of the squad.
That makes sense, man. Obviously, going back to the Champions League, and I find myself asking myself this. Obviously, we're probably going to be in the Champions League next year. We'd all want to win it. It's a different test. We don't know what's going to happen. Realistically, what would you say is Arsenal's sort of goals for the Champions League? For me, let's just get out of the group. I don't even think it's group stages next season. I think it's a league thing, but just get to the knockout stages and take it from there, for me. I
mean, as you said, anything past the group stage, it's a bonus. You just get out past the good state. If you get last 14, whatever, it's a bonus because you know fully well that it will always be a challenge because Arsenal have not been in Champions League for a long time. So you're coming in there behind a lot of European team who will spend a lot of money. So you're like, it's almost like you're always chasing them.
And the thing that would give me somewhat confidence in the Champions League is We're actually it's stupid. 'Cause I don't think it's true, but it's like I don't know. It's like before watching us in the league this year, it feels like we're a bit more focused away from home. Like we don't typically concede that, from like we conceded another set piece goal on the weekend. We just appear a bit more focused. The crazy games, the Bournemouths and all of these ones, it seems to happen when it's at home. So that will give me confidence if you're gonna go Napoli, Madrid, etc. Of course, you need more than that, but yeah, man, it's at home where we kind of mess things up. Ironically, like in the sporting game.
At home, yeah, there's this is where Arsenal they got to a stage where like fans expect Arsenal to play well and to win at home. So that's a different type of pressure. You know what I mean? So it's almost like fan expects Arsenal to play well, to win, to play a attractive brand of football, to get people off the seat, that kind of thing. That's what Arsenal fans want to see going forward. So automatically it put you under the pressure to perform well. Almost like every mistake, you almost feel like you've been scrutinized for it. So for me, it's all about, okay, get your head down, calm down, let's just play our game, let's see it through. And then away from home, just play with the freedom.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I never really looked at it like that. We got a question. Would you spend 120 million on Jude Bellingham or get Declan Rice and Moses Caicedo, the lad we're talking about from Brighton, for 160?
That means you're getting two similar players.
Yeah, you get two for 160 or you get Jude Bellingham for 120. 40 million pound difference. Essentially getting a player for 40 million, really, slightly.
And then with Jude Bellingham, are we paying for the potential?
Essentially, we'll be paying for potential for all of them, I'd feel, really. So yeah, probably are paying for potential, 100%.
And then he hasn't proven in the Premier League though.
This is it. You know
what I'm saying?
Do you know what? I'm more likely to spend 120 on Jude Bellingham. I like him. I think that's
don't get really. Listen, the boy is a fabulous footballer. But then I'm saying, not everybody that play in Bundesliga come in the Premier League and really run the show.
That's true. It's a different ball game.
Not everybody comes from Bundesliga, come in the Premier League and absolutely terrorize everybody. So it's one of those things where you're not sure.
And that's one of them, like, for me, it's like Jude Bellingham. I always call it the wow stages. Saka went through it. Martinelli went through it. When you're a young player, no one's really scrutinizing you or focusing on anything. Everybody's just wow. The only real time I've seen Jude Bellingham face scrutiny to the wider footballing world was his performance against Chelsea. But he showed me at the World Cup you could do a thing. Obviously, like you said, he's not the finished article. We live in a day and age where potential, you play good for 10 games, you're a superstar, you're all of this. In terms of rank, what areas are you addressing as top priority for next season? Goalkeeper, defense, midfield, and attack.
Start from defense, bring another centre back, bring another midfield player, and bring another striker if you have to.
I would say for me, centre mid, I think we need to address that. I don't think we're going to get to a new level in the final third or defensive first. So I'd say that. I agree with you. If we could buy a right-sided centre-back, a right-back, maybe a left-back if Tierney's gone. And I wouldn't mind a striker, either an out-and-out striker or someone that can play like Trossard, all of them positions who's just wavy, but it's easier said than done. So I'm not even too sure, man. So it'd be a techie one, really. Would you take Moussa Diaby, speaking of Bundesliga dons? I would, but is he going to just look
he is another one where, I think Chelsea wanted to sign him and they pay looking to pull
PSG onto him now as well.
Onto him again. You're paying for potential where you want to come to a league where you've already proven to some stage, but you want to prove a point. Whereas all these guys are coming in, German league is not the strongest league anyway. So I'm not saying anybody, but most people looks unbelievable in that league.
You're right. So I take it based on what you've been saying that Arsenal probably need more players like Trossard and things like that, a bit more experience, a bit more, you know what you're getting.
Yeah, definitely. You want a finishing article. You don't want, I'm not sure. That's what you want, a finishing article.
I agree with that still. If we could get them. Again, I can't lie, we got some couple of questions. Big up to everyone who asked the questions for Fabrice. First thing, Apollo has said, how does it feel watching us as a club compared to Wenger's last days?
I was there when the last Arsenal game when Arsenal was the manager. The atmosphere was amazing. But now to watch Arsenal now, you feel like there's something special coming around. There's something's gonna happen, and everybody's singing the same hymns. Everyone is in the same. Everybody is just in the same direction. You can feel it from coming into the stadium, all like from the train station all the way to the stadium. You can just feel the atmosphere slowly and surely building up, and and Emery become more and more of a fortress.
I'm with you with that, man. I think the atmosphere is everything. That's the first thing I remember listening when he first signed for the club, spoke about it. And as you know, because you was a footballer, games can be won or lost in the tunnel, really, either due to the atmosphere or looking left and right at the players. What other questions have we got? Someone said, DG One Love, can you ask Fabrice who he thinks will bag Player of the Year in the Prem? Haaland.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. He's a cheat code, really, man. He's a cheat code.
I mean, this guy just literally slammed for everything, you know. It's just been scoring crazy goal. And then from now on, from here now, it's just like you can't deny this. You really can't deny this. Is the difference. You know what I said about Haaland, yeah? Pep has compromised the way he plays because of Haaland.
Because he's gonna be an elite goal scorer.
Yeah, but he's compromised the way his style of play as a team just for one player to get the most out of it. What I mean by that is that if you look at the story of Pep's team, right? His strikers,
it's the false 90.
Yeah, the false 9. Oh, this guy here now is out number 9. He doesn't get involved into build up playing. He's not interested in that. He's just interested in that ATM box. Anything that in there is about it. And
it's food for him, yeah.
Pep has literally, if you look at it, they tweak the way they play just to make sure that they get the best out of Haaland.
Facts. What would you say? Because as much as you say that, there are some people who say, I don't agree, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Some people sit there and say, do you know what? City play worse with Haaland.
No, they don't.
I think it's nonsense as well, man.
They don't. I said he's a reason why this man, how many hat-tricks this man got?
Bro, he's got like 20 odd, maybe even 30. I mean, listen, he's got FIFA numbers. Haaland's just Haaland. He's not even a real human being. He's a robot made in the lab. Crazy striker.
Team that on the bottom 3 by himself.
Exactly, he's a madman.
You know, so it's the way Pep made them play the Swedish style, which is beneficial for the team.
For me, the quicker Pep and Haaland leave the Prem, the better it is for everybody, really. Businessman settings, they said, what is his, obviously, Fabrice, what's your opinions on the Conte situation? I'm sure you saw his press conference. He's moving mad.
You know what, yeah? What Antonio Conte said, yeah, is what most Spurs fans been saying for a long time. The only difference
is the man saying it, though.
Yeah, no, but you can't. Let's really go about it, yeah, one by one. Mauricio Pochettino. Yeah, got sacked.
Jose
got sacked.
Conte.
Nuno got sacked.
Yeah.
And you can't keep blaming the manager. Those are top managers.
It's clearly the club, bro. It's clearly Levy.
So you even have to ask yourself a question: who's the problem here now? Then
it's the owners. Like it's like if you manage a company, if you work for any company, and the owner doesn't want to be the best in the industry, naturally you're all gonna fall victim to that. But if I play devil's advocate, bro. Did Conte not know this? Fair enough, people can promise you one thing, but did you not know this when you stepped into the job? Did you not know that? Have you not seen the history of the Tottenham?
I mean, listen, till when? How many times you be drugging out people? How many times you be like, you know what? You know when you sign Conte, yeah? If the Muller's not making sense, because my man he's literally left the team before.
Yeah.
So for me, it would not be surprised where he say, you know what? You lot done that here, man. I'm gone. See you later.
He's cutting, man. Of course he's cutting. So Conte's a winner. His CV is blank at Spurs. Sorry, definitely not Chelsea.
He's looking at it thinking, I won the Premier League. You haven't. But that's fact.
It's true.
So you might feel upset about it, but I'll say, I won the Premier League. You haven't. You know, I've done this. You haven't. So what he's telling you is that, can we get more players? Can we get more investment in the squad? And also, if you look at that situation here, it makes you appreciate Arsene Wenger even more so.
Trust me.
Then before you're like, you know what? How this man kept Arsenal playing Premier League, Champions League football years after years, yeah, with a shoestring budget.
Ridiculous, everything more than a manager as well, accounting, all them things for us.
And to make sure to keep the stadium going, to be able to pay for the stadium, all of that, bruv. And to be able to produce players, to sell players, and get in the Champions League. And now you see what's going on with Spurs.
They're reaping the benefits, yeah.
You're like, wow, you know, big stadium, yeah, but there's no Champions League next year. Might not be no Champions League next year.
True.
You know?
What do you think? Do you think that obviously if you're a player, how would you feel if you was a player and Conte is coming out and saying that? Because I agree with you. I don't think he said anything wrong. I don't think he said anything fans didn't. But, you know, we're all in this together. He's come out and attacked everyone. Does he risk alienating players not playing for him? Do you feel it's the beginning of the end?
I feel like, you know, this chapter is finished. Me and you were just waiting when this guy announced that, yeah, Conte's been given a P45. That's it.
Yeah. He wants this conversation to me.
So either Spurs, you know what, you got 10 game left or 10, 11 game left, yeah. We're just gonna see you through in it, and come the end of the season, we'll shake hands, see you later, bye-bye. There's no competition to be paid here. That's the other scenario. But I think the longer he stay there, the more toxic he gets.
Yeah. Because apparently he's in talks with the owners right now. There's rumors he could be sacked at the end of the week. Yeah, man. I just think I think he's doing everything he can to get sacked, but not. It's a thing where they pay him his P's, isn't it? And then he leaves.
Oh, yeah, you have to, and also you got to pay him a nice P's as well, you know, to get rid of him.
This is it, man. Somebody asked a question with Harry. There it is. Ask Fabrice whether United should go for Osimhen or Kane. Which one would you go for? And do you think Kane needs to leave Spurs this summer? Because
Kane need to find somewhere he'll be able to win something. Osimhen, man, that brother different, bro.
He's different. Arsenal. When you mentioned Wenger, he said I had a conversation with Wenger when I was 17. This guy is a legend.
That guy different, bro. Different. The way that man slapped the ball, yeah, you're thinking, bro, he hit the ball so sweet. You're thinking, nah, this guy.
He's crazy.
I can see why everyone in Europe wants this guy right now. You know.
Would you put down the money for him?
Of course you could. If you have an opportunity, like, you can't let if you have an opportunity to sit down with him and say, listen, let's have a conversation, yeah. Let me try and sell you Arsenal. I'll try to sell you Arsenal, and from there you make a decision for yourself. Let's have a conversation. You can't say no to that.
They're saying 120 though, 120 M.
No, nobody. There's no player right now is worth what they say it's worth. But in the current market, people playing strip. You know, in the current market, you just have to pay what it is to pay in it. It's simple.
That's true. But surely that would mean Balogun and Eddie Nketiah, for some Arsenal fans, you probably wouldn't get game time, could be sold. Would you be happy with that?
Yeah, no problem with that, man. Thank you for your service. Let's bounce. You know, nothing harmful. Listen, boys, you've been great. You've been come through the hell end. It's unfortunate that the level that we want to go, you might not reach. We don't think you're able to play that level. So just shake your hand and move on, and do it as friendly, as amicable as you want to do it.
I agree with that, man. I don't think you're wrong. Finally, though, my last thing for you, my guy. Obviously, with 10 games left, I wanted to show you this. I was having this debate with my brethren. Who's got the easier running? Let me make sure all the City's games are there. You've obviously got. Let me zoom out. In fact, yeah, so we can see it now. Who's got the easier running? How do you think this goes? You see Arsenal's games. We've got Leeds, Liverpool, West Ham, Southampton, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, and Wolves. Obviously, City have more games in hand than us. They've got Liverpool after the break. They've got Southampton away. They've got Leicester at home, Brighton away, then us at home, then Fulham away, then Leeds, then Everton, then Chelsea, then Brentford. And I think their last game is against West Ham.
And Arsenal run is very difficult, you know. Very hard.
What's your thoughts on Arsenal first? Like, what fixture grabbed your attention first there?
The City away would be massive for Arsenal. If Arsenal beat City away, oh my God.
When the last did we do that? When Coquelin and Santi were there, really? That I think so.
City away would be massive for Arsenal. Newcastle away, and every game is winnable right now. No,
I'm saying specifically to City, because obviously both
definitely. I feel like if you win that, you give yourself an extra space to breathe in. You know, if you look at the six, if City drop 2 of those points, 2 of those games, also allowed to lose at least 3 of them.
I hope Liverpool do a job, man, because I can't lie. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm just scared of City. I'm just waiting for them to be near enough perfect. It doesn't look like the same City. But I just have the mentality that they're gonna be near enough perfect. So we need to be.
If you look at the 30th of April, they're gonna play Fulham away. You know what I mean?
Fighting for Europe and that. But surely by then they would have got nothing kinda to play for Fulham.
I mean, listen. 13 game, win 10, draw 2, lost 1. I'll take that all day long.
For me, what do you think about, because you mentioned the City game? Obviously, you know, every game's difficult, all of that sort of stuff. I'm confident in our away games. at home we can do a thing. What do you make of City, Chelsea, Newcastle away? Because Newcastle away last season we messed up. Chelsea at home, I
Chelsea
hope.
at
Well,
home.
technically we lost last year, if I remember
I
correctly.
mean, Chelsea at home, I think also can do it. Newcastle away, I'll take a draw.
Yeah,
I'll take a
yeah.
draw now. Brighton at home, I want to win that game. You know, Nottingham Forest again. You don't know which Nottingham Forest. If they're safe, they'll get another. You know, and then you got Wolves. All of those games are winnable, but at the same time, just have to make sure you don't lose it. Simple as that.
If you can't win, don't lose, as they
Don't
say.
lose, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I look at it, it's like when you look at Wolves, I would say Wolves, Forest, Leeds, West Ham, Southampton, they're fighting for their lives. Obviously, Liverpool at Anfield, we ain't won there. So there's still some test. City speaks for itself. Chelsea, I'm confident I want to beat them. It's a London derby, but it really is 10 cup finals. Like it really is. It really
You gotta make sure you take care of your business, especially the home game, man.
This is it, man. This is I don't know, man. I don't know, because it's one thing that scares me as well is now the injuries starting to pile up. Obviously, Saliba and Tomiyasu. I didn't even ask you, what do you make of the injuries to Saliba and Tomiyasu? Now, Arteta seemed quite not negative, but negative in Tomiyasu playing it, coming back. He didn't really give any indications in Saliba. There's some rumors saying he's out for several weeks. So, worst case scenario,
international week. I mean, international week couldn't come quickly enough. You know. I mean, both of the guys, I'm not sure if they're involved in the international team. If they're not, then
Saliba's pulled out.
Yeah, I mean, they'll come back into London, get treatment, and then bang, start back again. So I wouldn't be worried about that. I feel like they can come back in, get ready for that game against Leeds, against Liverpool. So you got to get everybody very in good shape before you start going again.
This is it, man. This is it. My last question for you, broski, before I let you get out of here. Biggest potential out of Nketiah and Bellingham? Now, I know you've answered this before, but I
Bellingham for me,
Mr.
man.
Robbie weren't there.
Bellingham
Why, though?
He's doing it, bruv. You know what, yeah, like, Nketiah's done well, but that guy's gone to France and literally running the show over there. We would not be surprised if PSG were bidding for him.
He's been linked with AC and Inter, actually.
And there you go, then. So speak for yourself.
Do you think, though, playing devil's advocate, though, like, do you not think Eddie Nketiah would do what he's doing over them sides?
Well, Eddie Nketiah won a loan last year or the year before that.
Yeah, but he went Leeds Championship, though. Bellingham struggled in the Championship at Middlesbrough. To be fair,
I'm saying he went alone.
I agree with you for what it's worth, but I do think Eddie bags over them sides.
But let's see if Nketiah can go their side there and be and do the same thing. If he can do that, then you say, you know what? Credit to him.
Fair enough. In fact, real last question before I let you get out of here. What did you make of the Mitrovic thing? Because I'm sure you watched the full.
Mitrovic is, you know, is that line,
madman, isn't it?
Is that line? I think the FA will make a proper. The FA will make an example of him. Seriously, you know who got away with it as well? Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. He got away with
it. Why do you think that is? We know there's mad inconsistencies, but why did one guy get away with it and the other didn't? Like, it looked like there's more aggression in Mitrovic, but surely there should be no
understand. I understand there's a frustration, but for you to start, hands on the referee, all of that, because remember, everybody's watching the game. The kids are watching the game. We're supposed to be a role model. So when you start crossing that line, the FA will slap the book on that guy. Won't be surprised if we don't see him till next year, bro.
That is peaking. That could affect Fulham. But then again, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's not the same, but like, if he's gonna get like potentially banned for a significant period of time, when it comes to racism, either with players or fans, they don't really, or clubs, they're not really that. They don't get this. So does that kind of tell you where priorities lie? Because it's like
the man is just a pure lip service, isn't it?
Exactly.
Pure lip service, man.
This is a mad thing. Absolute madness, man. I don't know for Mitrovic. I just think he was bugging out, man. But Fabrice, it's been fantastic having you here. Obviously,
appreciate that, Dej, man.
Let them know where they can find you, man.
You know me. You can find me on my YouTube channel. We're there. We always, we always showing love. We always talk about football. I like to do my Premier League preview, and reaction, which I'm getting to involve now. So come around, give us a like, and give us a subscribe. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks for having me, my guy.
Minor, man. Thanks for doing all these shows with me. As you can see here, people, that's his YouTube channel. In fact, in the title of this video, you'll probably see his YouTube channel highlighted. You literally just have to click that and subscribe. Don't be lazy. Go and show an Arsenal man some love, people. Go get the views up, the subscribes up, and all of them things.
Love it.
We'll be back again, people, man. Let me let Fabrice get out of here, bro.
Have a good one, my guy.
No worries, Killy. In a bit.
Yeah, man.
And as for you lot, smash the like button and all them things. We're out.
Spurs, because he always is that active red flag defending. I think it's like. Spurs, because he always is that active red flag defending. I think it's like.